more music.
Oh my god.
Here goes.
Blazing across the airwaves right now.
Get ready.
Now this is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned in to the baddest rhythm of all time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is trying to change the world, one track at a time.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are. More music, more of the time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Don't understand what's going on here.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to another Warehouse interview. Tonight we'd like to present Smith and Liddle to the show. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, DC presented this band on the Little Known Bands That You Should Know show. People were knocked out by them. They are here. They're going to talk to us. It's a fantastic interview. Give them some love. Smith and Liddle.
Piling on the power chords and pure pandemonium. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to another Warehouse interview. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today. My co-host, of course, DC Toontime is here. And today we have, we're going to let DC get all worked up again about this band. But if you remember, we did a Little Known Bands You Should Know show, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And DC was in the co-host spot, and he brought this band to the table. And everybody, the overall reception in the comments, in the live chat, everybody was just absolutely taken by this duo. So DC, he's bringing them here today.
Yeah.
So we've got Smith and Liddle here. My gosh, all the way from the UK. And there's the record.
Hi.
Hey, nice to have you guys on. All right, I'm going to start this off. Now, the listeners that did see that show, they're now aware of you. But what about other people who are discovering you today? Who are Smith and Liddle in one sentence each? What encompasses this musical endeavor?
Oh, I would say probably like soft rock, retro sounding.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Billy, how would you describe it?
I always just say, like, obviously, we've grew up with this sort of music and we're just doing our own thing and not following the trends. And these sounds that were like the sounds of the 70s and the 60s just ring in our ears lovely. So someone said before, we wear our inspiration on our sleeve, but we do it our own way.
I am so excited, though, because what you two do is exactly what I love. And I do have to ask, I have to start this out because I usually ask people about this because I'm always fascinated how things started for you. Like, Billy, Elizabeth, what was it? What
flipped your switch to take you on this path to excellence?
You heard something when you were a kid. The skies opened up. The waters parted. What was it for you that brought you to this point? I know.
I'd say for me it was obviously my granddad's. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. It's actually from Steve Levine. I don't know if you know who he is.
He produced Culture Club.
Yeah, it's him. That's such a wow.
Oh, wait a minute. One moment. I've got Steve Levine here.
I can't believe that's just happened. But yeah, we'll get onto him in a minute. But for me, it was my granddad gave me all his records when I was younger. So it was all the British invasion stuff, like your Beatles, your Kinks, Small Faces, The Who, and just hearing that sort of music. It's like just that time. Like it was just such a cool time to live in, and I was very jealous of it. So
yeah,
that was my.
I'm kind of like you. I kind of was born too late for it. Well, I was. I was born when it was going on. But man, if I could have been born like 20 years before, I just would have been. Because we're never going to have a period like that ever again. You know, everything was new and fresh. Of course, you know, the Beatles were leading everything, even though the Beatles, you know, McCartney might have said, no, we weren't leading it. Oh, yeah, they were.
Yeah,
but the musical growth, you know, we're never going to see that again. Everything was fresh, shiny, and new. It was fantastic. Creativity was on a high level. You know, you go from 65 to 67, it's like leaps and bounds.
It's crazy. The short period of time they did it in as well. And another thing for me, it was like my granddad worked at a place called the Red Car Jazz Club, which was like a venue back in the day.
Yeah.
And you just see like, obviously these days when you go and see Paul McCartney, you're paying $500 a ticket. But back then, like Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac would be stood at the bar having a drink, or Eric Clapton, and it's just like they were big people, but they were just stood there having a drink, and you could go and talk to them, and it just sounded like such a cool time. Everyone loved music, and yeah.
Billy, you were lucky with your grandfather. All right, Elizabeth, you're up.
Mine's really similar. So my mum used to have like CDs on in the car. I know this is a really silly CD, but she'd always have the pin-up CD on in the car, and it had like the heartthrobs of the time and like Paul McCartney's My Love and like just like silly, I mean, not silly songs to me, the songs that like really inspired me. And I guess my auntie would always buy me like classic albums. Every birthday, Christmas. So when I was 16, I got Tapestry, Carole King.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
that was like, that was like me done. I started writing like all the time, playing my piano. I just think I wanted to be Carole King, to be honest. But I just think I love how they go from genre to genre. Like Carole King can write like a soul song. She can write a pop song. She's got like rock songs. And that's what I love about that like era of time, that nobody was afraid to do anything and push the boundaries of what they were doing.
Yes, there was more of a respect for what the artist wanted to create. Of course, they wanted to move albums, they wanted to move product, but they tended to be a little bit more hands-off, especially if you proved yourself to a degree. Just take it where it's going to go. But you could tell that you guys have a real love for that era. And like I say, you can benchmark that and see where your influences are, but you both take it in your own direction. And like I said, that the era of that music is near and dear to our hearts here in the Warehaus. Because the songwriting is top shelf. The vocals, the blend of both of your voices is tremendous. And what I've noted as the more I listened, because this is going to be the album of 2026 for old DC. It's always going to be accompanying me in whatever I'm doing. The more you listen to these songs, there are things that will appear to you the more you listen. Instrumentation going on in the background, little guitar riffs and things that, I mean, on your earlier listens, you might not pick up on. And that's one of the great things about a really outstanding album. Initially, things will appear to you and you'll digest them and enjoy them. But the more you listen to the songs in the album over time, more things come to the fore, more connections within the song. And you're thinking, oh, that's really clever. Oh, I like the way they did that. And that's what I'm finding with this album here.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so
DC.
lovely.
I couldn't have said that better.
Well, Billy, I must say, your guitar playing.
Oh, here we go.
When did you start on guitar? Because these lead riffs and these segments that you work into the song are so well thought out and so perfect within the context of the song. When did you start playing? Give us a little bit of background there, because unlike a lot of peers of your generation, I could tell you guys sat in your rooms or wherever you had your instruments and you guys really worked at them.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'll have to thank my granddad again, because I wanted to be a footballer first. Okay. Then I started going to guitar lessons when I was about 10.
Billy, Billy, not to interrupt you, but allow me to say this. When I initially got a look at the faces behind the music, I'm thinking, Billy is bucking the system, because this guy looks like a footballer here, yet he's involved in music. And I went the same road as you, because I've always balanced those two worlds my whole life. Pretty rare to find a guy that's very much into athletics and then also the music end of things. So sorry to interrupt, but that's funny that you brought that up, because that did occur to me.
Well, thank you. Well, I don't know what football you're talking about, but I'm talking about the proper football, as in you call it soccer.
Oh, don't get him worked up. Billy, don't get him worked up.
But yeah, I started going to guitar lessons then. It wasn't until I started going to this place called Young Jerry's Jam Night in where I'm from in Middlesbrough, which is the northeast of England. And I was jamming with a lot of the older guys playing old blues, rock and roll. And once I started jamming with them, I started picking up stuff from them. And I don't know, we'll just listen to a lot of records and some of my favourite guitar players like Jeff Beck and Peter Green. Trying to think of other people. There's
Jimmy
obviously
Page.
all them, and obviously Hendrix as well. And it wasn't until I started listening to your bands like Toto and Steve Lukather, and that's probably one of my biggest inspirations. Like the little things that you pick out in the records. Steve Lukather's so good at that. So many guitarists I can name though. There's so many great players out there. Yeah. But yeah,
I was gonna say, you guys, okay. You grew up only like 25 miles apart.
Yeah.
Okay. How did this endeavor come about? How did you guys form this? I mean, did you guys know each other? How long have you known each other though?
I guess it's kind of from what Billy was saying about his like guitar playing. So I was doing some singing in Billy's old band, and Billy was playing guitar in my band, and we were just friends. We just became really good friends, and I think we really just had that mutual thing of albums. Like I remember one day I went round to Billy's. We were rehearsing for a show. And Billy was like, "Do you want Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills and Nash? Because I have 3 copies of it." And I was like, yes, I do. And yeah, we just like really bonded about music and what we listened to. And so I guess that's how we met. How long ago was that, Billy? We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic.
But we've known each other longer.
Wow. What a wonderful collaboration, and the both of you are so in sync. I mean, it's like I said, for a group or a musical endeavor just starting out, I'm just like astounded at the level of song crafting, vocals, all of it. I just like, you don't normally find that right out of the box.
I mean, when I listen to, if you like anything, like anybody watching this, like that 1970s West Coast Laurel Canyon type of thing out in LA, it's very reminiscent of that. So like Fleetwood Mac, Mamas and the Papas, you can always go back to that show. We did that little known band show if you just want to sample that. Because we played some tracks off of this record.
We broke with Protocol because we were so impressed by the album.
We broke with Protocol.
It's 3 bands, and you pick 2 tracks from each. No, not with Smith and Liddle.
No.
3 tracks, folks.
We played 3 tracks. Broke the rules.
Roughly a third of the album, which is fantastic, beginning to end.
So I'm curious, why is the album? Okay, first of all, when did the album come out? DC probably knows, but I don't have the date in front of me.
It was the end of last year, wasn't it?
Last year.
But I was only aware of this year.
So why is it called Songs for the Desert?
It's called Songs for the Desert because when we were, obviously, it's a homage to your Laurel Canyon sort of like era, and we love that era. But also, we were recording a song called Down the Hole Again, which is the first track on side B, and it has like all these deserty sounds in the start, and our drummer he was very forgetful of the titles of the songs, so he would come in and say, which one's, is this the camel song, or is this the desert song? And we were going to call the album Songs from the Desert, but we realised we're not actually from America, or we're from the northeast of England, which is very cold and rainy. So we called it Songs for the Desert, so it's like, yeah.
Well, I will say, Elizabeth, if you were like in 1967, 1968 in Laurel Canyon at the time when Laurel Canyon was the place to be, you'd fit right in. You'd have plenty of friends.
That would be the dream. I just feel like my wardrobe would be even more full than it already is now.
It probably is. I mean, you would just think of all those clothing stores, probably, and just think of just that whole era, the Sunset Strip back then. Doors were playing, all these bands. It was just like a hotbed. I'm telling you, kids, I was born in the wrong era.
Yeah, us too.
Buffalo Springfield playing. Think about it. Everybody's hanging out in Laurel Canyon, jamming. You know, everybody's at Mama Cass's house.
Yeah. Everybody knew each other back then as well. And they all had the parties, and I don't know. It's sad that it's not like that now. I wish it was.
Nah, I think that only I think that was just a brief sliver because it kind of went away.
Yeah, it is. It's very short as well when you think about it. Yeah.
Now,
Really, just such a concentration of creativity, new things, all coming together in a very short period of time. I always call the year 1966 the apex of pop culture in the 20th century, not only in the music realm, but you had like the Batman TV show. There was all this stuff coming together at the same time. The toys that were developed in that, because I was a wee lad then, but I was around. Yeah, that little short sliver of time, so much came out of that, so much influential creative work.
It's never ended either. Like, even when you watch films these days, everyone's still using old film cameras to film you see the crackles in the screen, and everyone's using analog gear because they want the records to sound warm still. Like, it was just a period that never went away. It stuck with people like us. Right, me and Liz are both 25 years old, so yeah.
Jesus, just babies. Hell, my kids are older than you.
Oh, it warms my heart.
My daughter's 26 and my son's 27, but
nice.
They're kind of your age.
Right.
Yeah, I'm actually 26 to be fair.
Okay, so you're same age as my. Okay,
Yes.
were you born in 2000 then?
I was 1999. I just made it.
Yeah, my son was born in 98, and then my daughter's born in 2000. So you're like my kids.
Aw,
There's a wealth of material online that you guys are always putting up little shorts of recording music from that era. Like, you'll do little cover vignettes and post them on various sites and everything. And I also came across the band warming up, I'm assuming before a gig. Whoa, what was that? And the
Earthquake, DC?
I think I bumped my hat on my mic. You guys were just jamming and you were playing this kind of jazzy riff type thing. I don't know if you remember that instance, Billy. I just remember what you were playing on guitar was very jazz based and everything. I wonder if you guys will do anything along that line for the coming up with your next recordings and such, because it sounded fantastic.
I can't remember the video you're talking about, but I'll have to try and find it. But I mean, yeah, we like all different types. Obviously, we love soul and funk music and jazz music and your bossa nova stuff, which was all in the 60s and 70s as well. So we like to blend everything, I guess.
Also, I wanted to bring up, as you guys, I subscribed to you guys, and it came up in my YouTube feed, a song, You're Mine Tonight. Are we working on a new album here, or just crafting songs, and then further on down the line you'll put something together like that, or are you just recording what you create as far as songs are concerned?
I guess it's a bit of both. Like, we are actually recording the next album. We've got days booked in, and we've started recording little bits here and there. And we've got all the tracks. We're really excited about them as well. But that Your Mind Tonight is actually a cover of one of our favorite songs by the band Pure Prairie League.
No, was not aware. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a bit of like a hidden gem, really, that song. We I don't know how we found it. I think it was on our Discover Weekly, or maybe, I don't know, Billy, maybe you found it before me, and we got obsessed with it. Like, we went to Nashville and we were playing it every single day. Yeah, it got a bit obsessive. I think we were listening to it 10 times a day.
So did you like Nashville?
So we thought we'd cover it.
Oh, we loved it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Was that the first time you'd been to the States?
Yeah, I've been before. We went to New York together. I went to Florida before, but as in like America, Nashville was our first proper experience of being there.
That'd be a good place to start. It's a great town.
Did you guys do any like touring, or was there any mini tour or anything involved with these trips, or were they just to record in Nashville? Or
so it was to write with some writers over there, which we've never ever done before. We've only ever wrote together, so it was quite a new experience. But we wrote with a girl called Lucy Silvers, who was married to John Osborne from the Brothers Osborne.
Okay.
So then we wrote with a guy called Marcus Hummin, who wrote some big hits back in the day. And they were all really nice people, and it was a great experience, and we wrote some good songs, so yeah. And we did some videos out there, and we played the Bluebird Cafe, which was a good experience.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a strange one writing with other people, because normally like writing's quite like a personal thing to me anyway, but like they were so welcoming, and yeah, it was really fun. It was like different, and I think it inspired loads of other songs. So when we got back from Nashville, I think we wrote like, set nearly up to 10 songs of just together ourselves. So
wow.
yeah.
America's
It's kind of
such
like when the Beatles went to India.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
No,
we came on about 10 stone heavier instead of 10 stone lighter, I guess. All the American food.
Yeah,
Well, I do have a question. Your harmonies and the way your vocal blend on the record sounds fantastic. Is that something that just came naturally? Did you guys like sing together maybe in the old band, and then you looked at each other and went, holy mackerel, that vocal blend is killer? I mean, or did you work at it? But it just seems so natural, and your voices just fit so well together. I mean, it had to be one of those things where you looked at each other and you went, we could have been at Mama Cass's house like Crosby, Stills, and Nash,
I'd say it's very natural, and then I'll give it all my props to Elizabeth, because she's the perfect harmonist. I just sing, and Elizabeth finds all the harmonies.
Just singing.
I just sing. That's all Elizabeth, so I give all my props to her for all that stuff.
Yeah. I think it's just we've played together for a long time, and like even the first rehearsal that we ever had together, which was the first time we ever met, and it was for Billy's old band, and I'd learned like the whole set of songs. I'd been practicing them. I was really nervous because I'd never done that before, like singing in somebody else's band. And I came to the rehearsal, and Billy was like, yeah, we're not doing any of those songs. We're going to do this new set. And I was like, no.
Oh, no.
But we just blended straight away, I think. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it is just a bit of a natural thing. But, Billy's a great singer too. He's too modest.
Well, it seems like everything comes together. The vocals, I'm assuming in the songwriting area, you both contribute. It depends on the song. One may contribute 70-30, and, it depends on the song. But it seems quite seamless, and nothing is forced. It's very natural, and it really, the real aspect of this collaboration comes through. I mean, it's so pure. I mean, I picked that up just, like I say, just listening to these tunes. And that's, in a way, I think that's good, because you can't always collaborate with everybody. But the fact that you guys went out on a limb and collaborated with some musicians here in the States, songwriters, that'll open up new things, I'm sure. Like you said, you got back, and you guys, like, the songwriting was like, just sometimes when you work with other people, it changes the way you might view your own creative endeavors.
Yeah, I'd say America was it's obviously where we're from. We live in very small towns and villages in England. I know when we watched your video, you were putting the London accent on, but we're very far away from London.
We tend to go overboard sometimes.
He tends to go overboard.
All right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I have to do a little sidebar thing here, because I've noticed something. Elizabeth, what's the name of your kitty cat whose head is peeking in off the side there? This little head is like right in the corner looking in at you.
Be in the mirror.
Oh, there he is. He's gray and
There
white.
he is, little gray and white.
Yeah.
Pal.
She's I want to say she's a baby, but she's actually like 16 years old. She's very old.
Oh, that's a good
so
run.
cute. So cute.
I
Yeah.
didn't even
cat
realize
guy.
you could see her.
So what's your guys' situation or touring? You guys doing any gigs right now?
Yeah, we're actually on tour right now, but we're home at the minute. But we played London Wednesday, then we're playing Glasgow, Manchester, then we're going to Hamburg in Germany, which was obviously where the Beatles started out. So it's just like a mini tour, but we're planning more stuff later on in the year.
I must say, the videos I see of you guys on tour, your whole band, you guys are like a family, and you get along really well, unlike Fleetwood Mac. Oh, well, did I say that? But anyway, it seems like such a fun group, and you guys have a lot of laughs on the road and everything. So touring, I imagine, can be a real grind, but to do it with like-minded folks you really get along with and have a lot of fun with, that's icing on the cake.
So if people come see you play, so it is. I haven't seen the video, so you've got a full band.
We have a full band.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's a 4-piece band we play with. Obviously, our drummer and bass player, and we sometimes play with an organ player called Phil, who is actually Elizabeth.
It's just Phil. That's the only. We don't know his last name.
Just Phil. No
Phil
more need to be
Richardson.
said.
But he was actually Elizabeth's old college tutor, and he was so nice to play with us. So then on drums we've got Rob Maynard. Then on bass we've got Mark Johnson. So they're like such nice guys, and when you see on the video we're all like a big family, but we can kill each other sometimes because that's what life's on the road's like.
It's
just
rock
like
and roll.
Hey,
kids.
just like family, you know.
Yeah,
You have those moments. There's another band that was introduced on our channel that's become kind of a favorite, and you guys have shared the stage with them. Young Gun, Silver Fox.
Yeah.
What a combination show that is. Both of these bands are outstanding. Did you enjoy these guys and sharing the stage with them? How did that work for you?
Yeah,
Well, it's a funny story. I'll let Elizabeth tell this one, but if it wasn't for Young Gun Silver Fox, we wouldn't actually be talking to you right now.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it
right.
really is. It's like it's quite funny, really. So me and Billy have been fans of Young and Soul Fox, and Andy, the lead singer, his other band, Mama's Gun. If you haven't heard of them, you should definitely go and listen to them as well. But Young and Soul Fox and Mama's Gun, like, we were massive fans, and my mom is like their super fan, like to the point I used to call her like the creepy stalker. Like, she loves them so much. She has like all the records on the wall and stuff. Yeah, she's like a massive fan. And one time we were at a show and basically we got talking, and I think me and Billy had just first started going out with each other, and we went to the show with my mom and they were at the merch table and we got talking, and they gave like their manager's email to my mom to say, like, you know, if they want any advice. And at the time we didn't reach out. We just kind of like, I don't know, we didn't. And then a couple of years later, my mom, I won a cruise to see the band, but I couldn't go on the cruise. But I told my mom she had to go. So my mom went on the cruise. She
Mom,
went on
go,
her
you have to
own.
go.
Yeah, I was like, you have to go see the band. So she went on the cruise by herself, made friends with the band Mama's Gun. So that's Andy, the singer from Young and Silver Fox's other band. And yeah, I guess we ended up reaching out to the manager, and Carly is working with us now. And yeah, so if it wasn't for Andy and Young and Silver Fox and Mama's Gun, we wouldn't really be, I think we'd still be making music, but I think, yeah, I just don't think we would have had this whole collaboration with it. You know, I don't know, Billy, I don't know how you would describe it, but we feel very lucky that, yeah, they gave that email, because it was a bit of like a potluck kind of situation. But yeah, it's amazing.
You never know when those connections are going to project a career through the stratosphere. And it was that meeting and that connection. I think a tour with your two bands, if you did something in statewide with the two of you, woo, I think you would move some tickets for sure. I mean, it's just getting people to know you're out there. Like I said, I just came across the two of you in Shindig magazine. I know they did a review of the album, which was off the charts. They loved it, but there may have been another little article in there about you guys. But it's getting the word out and getting people to know that this fantastic music is out there. That's like one of our missions here on this channel. And you guys are both highly deserving of all the exposure in the world. I mean, just a tremendous album. I will say it again.
We're doing what we can. But, you know, now since Spotify and everything destroyed the music industry, well, actually, people destroyed the music industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get out there and get known. I mean, I think almost now you almost have to do like interviews like this or podcasts. It used to be when you had the Warner Brothers and the big music, you had like a backing, you had a promotional department, you had, they took care of all that stuff. Well, you actually really paid for it, but I'm still saying there was an infrastructure to get it out there. And now here it's, if you can make it. Man.
I will say, exposing our audience to your album on the show we did a few weeks back, we at least moved some copies of the album because we had people commenting, just bought it, just ordered it from Amazon. So that's part of the building process. It's a whole different business paradigm now. But we
appreciate that so much. Like, honestly,
we're trying.
You. It means a lot because we'd love to come and play in America as well. Like, that's a big goal for us for next year. I think we would love to come and play in America.
Oh, we'll promote it to the hilt.
Well, I do listening parties on Sunday, and then sometimes I just do. Well, last night it was a theme one. We did a psychedelic '60s listening party last night.
Nice.
But sometimes I do stuff and I'll play your stuff just to get it out there. So I will do what I can. Of course, you wouldn't have fit the psychedelic 1960s because it's recorded a little late. But had it been recorded in 67, I would have played it. But
it's a weird one because obviously we thank you so much for getting our music out there because it is so hard to do that, and we always get people coming up to us going, "Oh, you guys are like famous now," and I'm like, "We're still working our jobs, so we're not really."
No.
But
we just look good in shindig.
Yeah,
but crazy. You guys easing into a touring situation here in the States. If you guys put something together with a Young Gun, Silver Fox, because they've been at it a little bit longer and are a little bit more well-known here in the States, but introducing that audience here to you guys' music, if they love them, they're going to love you guys as well. I think that's a perfect double bill, if just throwing it out there. And if you come anywhere near Illinois, I will be there. Front row center.
I just noticed, I know Elizabeth has the cat to the left, but I think Billy might have Ringo Starr's head to the left, and I can barely see it. Is that Ringo Starr appearing around the corner?
It is, yeah, it is. Okay. He's in my room.
Okay.
Is that John Lennon, Billy?
It looks like, is that Ringo? It is Ringo, right?
I don't normally tell people this, but I'm a massive Beatles fan. I don't know if you've noticed.
You're in the right group right here.
Good morning, Grant.
Oh, here we go.
We've got a kind of similar accent to the Scousers, but we're the other side. They're the east.
I know that we're going to go on a tangent. All right, Bill, I'm going to put you on the spot, though. Top 5 60s records for you.
60s records?
Yeah, so you should just come right off the tip of your tongue, Billy.
I'm just trying to think if I could pick some out.
There's Ringo right there.
Yeah, there's Ringo. Yeah.
Please pick a Beatles album, Billy.
So I'll have to put a Beatles album in there. Right now, for me, it would be Rubber Soul.
Yeah.
So I always stuck on me Rubber Soul. I put a Beach Boys one in. Sunflower came out in 1970. I'll say...
you can pick that if you want.
Sunflower is one of my favourite Beach Boys albums. Did
you ever hear... we're on a tangent. Did you ever hear the Spring album?
The Spring album?
Okay, so Marilyn and Diane... Because Diane was Brian Wilson's sister-in-law and Marilyn was his wife. They were in the band The Honeys in the 60s. Now, around the time of Surf's Up, roughly Surf's Up period... Brian produced the Spring album, which was Marilyn and Diane. Now, if you like Sunflower, it's right in that thing, but it's kind of like a mix between Pet Sounds and Sunflower. If you like that, but it's Brian producing it with the Wrecking Crew as the backing band.
I think I've heard that, actually, yeah.
But, I mean, it's Brian at the helm. Of course, Brian really was always at the helm until like Holland and all that stuff. But man, go check out that Spring stuff. And Elizabeth, like for his vocals, I mean, sister vocals.
Yeah.
But with, Brian Wilson production and the Wrecking Crew. And I mean, it's hard to find that record, but man.
I like the Holland album as well, actually. I think Holland's probably my favourite Beach Boys album.
Wow.
I'm a big Carl Wilson fan, so I love Carl Wilson's voice and his guitar playing. He's a great guitar player, Carl Wilson.
Sure. I am amazed that they had those guitars, those Epiphones and all those. They were playing those same guitars like till the 70s. And Al Jardine playing that Strat that he's had since 19. I just think it's great. They didn't really swap out guitars very much, but they were still using the same thing. Like Carl was playing that 12-string Epiphone. What was that? I don't know if that was not a casino. What would a 12-string Epiphone be? God, I don't know. But I don't know. Tangent. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
No.
I love all that stuff, though, don't you? You love all that.
It's probably one of the reasons I bought a 12-string. I have a Dan Electro 12-string, and it's really has that jangly 60s sound.
Oh, I've got a Rickenbacker. I had it out yesterday for the listening party. People wanted me to bring it out.
Sure enough.
No. Well, I had a 66 that I bought when in 1982 when I was a kid for $500. And then I've got a 1981. See, we're on a tangent. I can't help it. We're talking guitars real quick, kids. 1981 Rickenbacker. Okay, so it's a 360. You know what the 360 is? You know what a 360 is. But like George Harrison's where it's got the sharp pointy horns and the binding. So it's a 360 like that.
Nice.
And they called that the WB look. And they got rid of that. Now they do all those vintage ones, but that's what and it's maple glow. So
nice. Don't forget my
like butter, Billy. Plays like butter.
Don't forget my 68 cherry red
Strum Master.
No, it's not real, folks.
Elizabeth, do you play anything or are you just a vocalist?
Oh, she keys.
Oh, you're a keyboardist. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard that before.
Piano players, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, don't be silly.
No, but how I'm just curious, Elizabeth, how did you start on keyboards? Did you start on piano? I'm just curious.
Yeah, my mom's friend was getting rid of an upright piano. So my mom was like, don't get rid of it. And so she put it in the house. And I didn't have lessons. I just kind of taught myself. Wow. I listened to music that I liked and kind of picked up from there. And then I did have lessons later on when I was maybe about 16, 17. But I was where Billy kind of was going to all like jam nights and stuff. I didn't really have a lot of... I'd started gigging, but it was all very like solo stuff, like just me and a piano. And I think that's how Billy found me, just from a video I put out of just me playing the piano. But I was quite insular, I suppose, writing my songs like by myself in my room, playing piano.
So would you say that like Carole King is probably like one of your big influences? I mean, is 100%. There anybody like particularly on keyboards or piano that was very influential for you?
Yeah, I mean, Carole King's playing, I think she's just my overall inspiration. But I also really love Joni Mitchell's piano playing. But I love, because a lot of people think of Joni Mitchell as like a guitarist, because obviously that's what she's most well known for. But a lot of our earlier albums, like the piano like songs and the arrangements and stuff are crazy. And that was a huge inspiration, I think, for me. I think that made me want to be better at the piano. And yeah, I write a lot of songs on the piano. I wouldn't ever call myself a guitarist at all. I sometimes write on the guitar, but I'm not very good.
About a minute ago, you wrote that on guitar.
I did, but I kind of brought it to Billy to improve on that one. But yeah, piano's like...
Joni Mitchell Blue, that's a good... You familiar with that record?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's just a classic.
I love the dobro on it. When she's playing dobro, do you ever see that? There's like footage like her from like 71, 72, and she's doing a song, she's playing dobro.
I think that's like a BBC session that when she's on the doing that.
She's on the I always wanted to try and do that, but I feel like I don't know if I could. That's too much. I think
it's a lot to do.
I don't think I could ever or would ever want to cover a Joni Mitchell song because I just love her so much, and I don't think that anyone can sing her songs as good as her. She's. Well, I'm kind of like that with the Beatles because every time I hear a Beatles cover, I always go.
He's always grinding his teeth. You could hear it.
Well, it's like you've already got perfection. What are you going to bring to the table for a Beatles cover?
I think there's definitely some bands. There's definitely some bands and artists that I probably just would avoid and would never cover the song.
I will say this: when the Beatles, Aerosmith did Come Together, that doesn't bother me. I thought that was a good version, but they also had George Martin produce that. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I thought Aerosmith pulled it off.
Yeah.
I think of some good Beatles covers. Obviously all the soul stuff's great as well.
I can think of like an old. Oh no, is that a Paul McCartney song? You know, The Fifth Dimension, the Every Night.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Every night. But is that a wing? Is it Wings
Paul
song?
McCartney. It's off of
Paul
the McCartney record, the first one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A song called Every Night off that record. It's a great song. And The Fifth Dimension, which is like a psychedelic soul band there, covered that. It's a great song.
Yeah, Fifth Dimension don't get mentioned as much as they should. What a fantastic! And they were kind of considered too.
What would you consider that?
Sunshine pop. There's a little bit of psychedelia. There actually is in some of the stuff, but man, Marilyn McCoo, the whole band vocally was like astounding. And there's a box set coming out that I ordered from, I don't know, one of the Cherry Red or one of them.
Well, there's
all the stuff. It's a big box set coming out in a month or so.
Oh, cool.
I think we take a lot of inspiration from the harmonies that they do. Like, I think they're just incredible. We went on a big tangent last year, I think, Billy, didn't we? And we bought like all the records. Every record shop we went to, we were like, right, where's the Fifth Dimension record?
Elizabeth, I'm the same thing, Elizabeth. I went into a used record store here in town, and somebody just sold them their whole Fifth Dimension album collection. I scooped all those up.
Yeah.
Well, they should be cheap. Those were in the dollar bins all the time. They sold a lot of records.
Oh yeah,
and no one wanted them. Like well, now you might want them. But I'm just saying, there's trends. Things come and go. But you could buy those all day and only get the whole catalog for $4 probably if you worked on it. But now I don't know.
Yeah. We found that when we were in Nashville that like the records were so cheap compared to over here.
Really?
Yeah, I actually broke my suitcase coming back and I had to go and buy one because I had too many records and clothes.
We found a great record there, didn't we? There's the band Badfinger, who are on Apple Records.
Yep.
Their album Straight Up, which was produced by Todd Rundgren. That's normally like very expensive over here, so you pay like £120 for it. But I found it it was in a flea shop near Nashville, and it was $30. So we bought it and brought it up.
Oh my God! Heck, if I were to spend that, I would have let you have mine for $5. Come on.
You both are mentioning many of our benchmark
$30
favorite artists here on the Warehouse, with another one mentioning Todd Rundgren because he's one of my all-time faves.
Yeah, he's very like, we spoke about Todd Rundgren nearly every day when we recorded Songs for the Desert. So he was, although it's not very Todd, some of his production styles is like top notch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Go ahead, please.
No, it's all okay. I was just going to say our producer, Josh, he's a good friend of ours who we produced Songs for the Desert with. I don't think you'll ever meet a bigger Todd Rundgren fan
really?
than Josh. Yeah, he like absolutely loves him. And we knew Todd Rundgren from the classics. And is it Something Anything? No.
Yep.
Yeah, that's his classic pop masterpiece.
Yeah, like I think we were really like familiar with that album, and like obviously it's like one of those classic albums. But then speaking to Josh, like deep diving into some of his other records, like he's kind of like a bit of a genius. I think. I don't know. I think he's just he's really cool.
Like XTC, some of the stories from when he used to produce them, like crazy. I'm glad he didn't produce us, to be honest. I think I'd end up fighting him.
I think I would have cried.
Really?
I put my money on Billy and that scrap.
Yeah.
I love XTC kids.
As you could see,
XTC is one of those bands. They never put out a bad record.
Yeah, well, our producer Josh, he is like one of their biggest fans, so you probably get on with him. He showed us a lot of XTC and Todd Rundgren, and they've got some great records.
My favorite XTC album is, well, I would think out of all the stuff, to what you guys are doing, have you ever? Oh, well, yeah.
That's my favorite, Elizabeth. That's my favorite.
Apple Venus. Have you ever heard Apple Venus?
I think, didn't Josh send us that one, Elizabeth?
I think so, yeah.
It's very orchestral. It's the one where Dave Gregory quit. Because Andy was just like spending money. They were recording that at Abbey Road, and Andy was just burning through money because, he had this vision. And I don't know. Andy Partridge can be a lot to deal with, evidently. But absolutely brilliant, though. Man, as a songwriter, Andy Partridge, goodness gracious. And even Colin in the band's fantastic. What a fantastic band.
Yeah.
So much talent. But, I think a lot of that, well, Todd Rundgren, where he produced, I see I'm on a tangent again. When Todd produced Skylarkin, he thought that Andy needed reined in a bit. Because, no one would tell Andy Partridge what to do, really. They had producers, but who was really producing the records? Yeah.
Didn't Todd Rundgren used to say, like, if you don't do it in 2 takes, I'm going to do it myself.
Pretty much.
It's crazy, yeah.
But the work that they did, because, they recorded all of that stuff, and then Todd went off and did all the arranging on all that and built the song cycle part. That record's a brilliant record.
Yeah.
It's a perfect, Skylarking is a perfect record. And Todd producing with XTC, it's a perfect record.
All this goes back, I think, to the Beatles, because both people were massive Beatles fans. And I guess, like...
It all goes back to the Beatles, kids.
It does. Even our album, to be fair, like, I know we have that West Coast sound going on, but the first song we recorded was Piece of You, and that was very much, like, Revolver-esque kind of production going on, so, yeah.
And Revolver's another one of those records. The production on that, I always thought, now this is contrary, but they were playing through all those... At that point, they had all those hybrid Vox amps that were transistor preamps, but they were 2 power amps. All the guitars on that damn record are all transistor amps. Some of the best guitar sounds I think ever recorded was like on Pepper and recorded on Revolver. The guitars on those just kill, I think.
So good.
You agree. Just that era. I don't think you're going to ever capture it. But I will say this. You've done a damn good job capturing 1977.
Oh,
thank you.
I don't know how you did it. Is that...
It's like when I played the first song of that evening when we presented your band.
I was like, what year is this?
Grant's mouth opens. He goes, damn it, DC, I got to buy this.
Well, I don't know how you did it. Because, usually these songs or these bands, they're like you listen to Fleetwood Mac Rumors. That's 1977. And that's like trapped in that era. But somehow with your record, you have captured another era in time. And I don't know how you can do it with modern equipment unless you're recording it on vintage equipment. And I don't. I know we need to wrap this
up. I have a time machine.
Can you just tell me a little bit how the sessions went and how you come to know Josh and how you guys came around to this sound in the studio? Or is that just the sound of you two? You just make that sound? I'm just curious because it's fantastic. I don't want to get all giddy like DC, but I thought it was like one of those, I've never heard anything quite like this for a modern duo or a band. How did the sessions go? And I mean, how did you record it?
I don't even know what to say. It was just pretty normal for us, like just going in the studio. Josh he's like a producer from the Northeast, and we'd never worked with him, but we needed a producer. So we just rang him, said, do you want to work on a record with us? And then we talked about obviously our influences. He was like, oh, we'll get on just fine. And it was probably the first time we ever met Josh, which is weird. So we went in there with him. Then we did all the drums with our drummer Rob. He was like such a fantastic drummer. He's like a one-take guy, like Jeff Porcaro. Then I don't know, I think it was stuff like we've worked with people in past bands, and they've always tended to select these kind of songs out that had fade outs. Me personally and Elizabeth, we love fade outs, and I think it was the thing of not taking it too seriously and doing whatever we wanted. And when people want to get signed these days, they have to follow rules, and I think what makes it sound like 77 is there was no rules at all. So we put a guitar solo in every song. There's guitar riffs in nearly every bar. There's loads of bass, drum, whatever, and we just had fun with it, and I think that's what they did back in the day as well, so yeah.
It's so fresh. I mean, although you're evoking an earlier time, to hear young musicians aware of those little intricacies worked into songs. Like I said before, the more you listen to the album, the more things that are revealed to you that you're doing on guitar, Billy, or something that's going on with a bass line here or there, they come to the fore, which keeps because I've listened to this many times and it's still fresh. It's still fresh to my ears.
I will tell you one secret though. There isn't a single amp on the album, a guitar amp.
Were you going right through the board?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And bass, everything's just DI, yeah.
We did a lot of it at home.
Well,
we
I've
actually
seen-
did it.
The guitar solo a minute ago is actually done in this room right here on my laptop.
Oh my God! No
What
way.
the what?
Yeah,
Well,
and Billy
how
wanted
do you
to
feel
change it.
about? I'm just curious. I don't want to interrupt, but I know, McCartney would go direct, but they would also put a mic on, the bass amp, so they like for Paperback Writer. That's a combination of it going direct and him micing the amp. But I mean, I don't know. You're a guitar player. I mean, how was that for you to go record it that way? I mean,
the thing is with the Beatles, like they had like millions of pounds, so they could do that. But with us, like, although it would have been great, I think with the DI thing, we would go back and change something, and it's having that freedom to do that. But with the analog stuff, we have like, obviously we've got a tape machine now, so Josh has a tape machine, so we've been feeding the drums through that. But it's just taking ages. Like, I think the old 77 sound you're on about is just me and Elizabeth as people. And
holy crap, kids,
what
go
we
out and
bring
get this record. My goodness gracious.
Yeah.
If you can do what you're doing and the way you're doing it, it sounds absolutely stunning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is true talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I was floored.
Where can people go and get the record? I mean, usual places? Do you have a website we can push? Blah. You know what I mean.
I think it should be in our link tree. So if it's like on our Instagram,
Okay.
I think if you type just in Google Smith and Liddle songs for the desert, it should come up. I think we're on some record store sites. Is that right, Billy?
Yeah, I think there's some record stores in America that have got us as well. So it's just typing us in the internet and hopefully you find Smith and Liddle. And it's not a bank company or a cheese factory that comes up and it's actually us.
That's good.
Yeah.
It could be. Oh, it's a cheese and wine company. Oh, how nice. Well, I'm going to
Smith
order
and
some
Liddle
wine
cheese
and
and
some
wines.
cheese. Oh, and they have a record too. All right. DC, do you have anything else before we wrap this dog up? Because we're about an hour.
I've blathered on so much about this album and the both of you and your astounding talent. I will just say, I'm an older cat. I've listened to a lot of music over the course of my life, and rarely does somebody coming right out of the box nail it like you guys did with this debut. Tremendous from beginning to end, the songwriting, again, instrumentation, and the vocals. The both of you, the blend. Oh, incredible. Folks, if you think I know anything about music, get this album. I will promote it. I will promote it to anyone and everyone. And we will do all we can here in the Warehaus to get the word out because you guys deserve it. You truly do.
100%. Fantastic
Thank you
talent.
so
My God.
Let's definitely meet when next time we're in America and hopefully we're gigging there and yeah.
Hey, okay. If you guys come through American and gigging, I want to come and we'll do like a little sit down in person.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Before the
that'd
gig
be
or
so
something?
fun.
Oh, you guys come to the States. I
DC
will
will
hop
come
in
over
my
here.
automobile and get to wherever you're playing. I vow
You got
that.
our info. You can do it. All right. Don't go away real quick. I have a question before we wrap it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Smith and Liddle, go down, check the links like down below. Please do yourself a favor. I know we keep saying this over and over, but this is the real deal. Fantastic stuff. But DC, you have nothing more?
Oh, I could go on and on, but people are tired of my
All right,
rambling.
people. We do have a Patreon down below. Please support the channel that way. If that's too much commitment, which I understand it could be, we have a Ko-fi. Buy us a cup of coffee or a beverage. That would be wonderful. What we're trying to do in the Warehaus is to turn you on to bands that maybe you have not heard of. And this is a perfect example. I'm not, a lot of our listeners, this is going to be a new band. So check it out. Give them some love. I mean, it's all about getting you guys out there. That's all that's all we're about.
Oh no, thank you. Thanks so much for like jumping on the call and stuff with us and doing it. Like we were so shocked when we saw it on the video. We weren't expecting to see that. Like
How did you see it? How did you guys see it?
Because I saw the comment.
I left a comment on
you
one
left
of
a
their
comment.
on one of their videos. I left a comment and said, We just covered your band on Grant's Rock Warehouse. Look for the show, Bands You Should Know, from this past Wednesday. And it was either Billy or Elizabeth got back to me, and eventually they saw the show, and here we are.
It was such a cool. All my family, all our families have watched the video.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that makes me feel good.
Because we were both at work at the time, and I was like watching it on my phone. I was like, I can't believe these guys are saying such nice things about us. When I was basically playing a gig, and I was having to go and play bloody Neil Diamond or something like that in front of a load of people that didn't want to watch me. So then I was listening. I was going, "There's actually someone out there that actually likes us."
Wow, I'm flattered. Thank you. Well, we're just doing.
I will continue to promote you guys, like I say, to everyone and anyone, and we will do what we can here on the Warehouse to get the word out and get your music out. Like I said, that night, I know we moved some copies because people typed in there, just bought it, just ordered it.
People were blown away.
It's getting your work out in front of the audience that needs to hear it. So
we really appreciate that, and like definitely our next goal, like we really want to come to America and play. So all these things help so much. So yeah, and we're big fans of your show now. So thank you.
You keep us posted. Don't come to the States and not let the Warehouse know, because I will drive to where you are.
Yeah, if you guys come anywhere near Ohio, I will definitely get in a car. We can do like a little sit down so we can promote stuff. I mean, it's all about promoting stuff. So you have to do what you have to do. And I'm on your team, kids. You're doing fantastic work.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
We'd love to chat when the next album's out.
Yeah, we would love it. We'd love it.
Well, what's the ETA? I know we got to go. What's the ETA for that? I mean, what's your goal for
the end of this year, early next year?
Okay.
All right.
I mean, that would work too.
Yeah.
Whatever, kids. I don't mean to call you kids. I call everybody kids.
We are kids, to be fair.
You're kind of like kids to me a little bit.
Except for me.
You're old, decrepit. All right, we'll let you guys go. I'll put the address and that email.
Yeah, please do.
We've got.
When will this video go out? Do you think?
I've got another one. I don't know if you've ever heard of this band. I did a band called. There's a band called Love Jones, who were a 90s band. They were signed to Zoo Entertainment, and they put out some records. They've played on The Tonight Show,
Nice.
and they broke up. They're kind of like, okay, dig this. If you took Sade, you took Steely Dan, and I'm going to say Swing Out Sister, if that means anything to you, and you combine this, they're and maybe some Squirrel Nut Zippers, if you've ever heard of the Squirrel Nut Zippers, very kind of eclectic. They have horns and maybe a little bit of Chicago if you sprinkle Chicago on top. I got turned on to these guys years ago. I've never heard a band like this. Very unique. Anyway, I just did an interview with them. I got to get that up. So give me a couple days. I'll have it up. I'll let you know in the link. I mean, in that email, I'll let you know when it's up.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, please drop the address and we'll get something sent over as well.
Bless your hearts. Fantastic. All right, kids, we'll see you.
Nice to meet you.
So nice
Thank
to
you
meet
both. Nice to meet you both.
Nice
Take
to
care.
meet you both.
Nice to meet you both too. Bye.
Bye.
So long.